Have you ever wondered why life feels stuck, even when you're trying your best? Maybe it's not just bad luck, but 5 quiet habits slowly pulling you down. They don't scream, but they damage everything. Your confidence, your peace, your future. You don't need to be dumb to act foolish. I've seen smart people waste years repeating the same mistakes, just like a friend I had. He kept saying, next month I'll fix it, but nothing changed. Same excuses, same pain. His dreams didn't die all at once, they faded. If you're still here, it means you care and that matters. This channel is here to help you break the patterns and grow stronger. Let's talk about 5 habits that silently ruin men from the inside out and how to stop them before they take more from your life. Sign 1, he thinks being loud means being smart. You've probably met this guy. Walks into a room and immediately turns up the volume thinking louder means smarter. He believes if he shouts it, it must be true. You'll hear him on the bus screaming that Bitcoin is a scam, or see him online typing in all caps about how therapy is for weak men. In group chats, he floods the thread with bold opinions but rarely any real thought or facts. Why? Because deep down he's not searching for truth. He's scared of being exposed, scared someone smarter might speak up, so he drowns them out. I've seen it too many times, and honestly, I've done it before, talking louder when I didn't know enough, because silence felt like weakness. But real intelligence, it doesn't shout. It listens. It asks. It waits. Loudness is often a mask for fear of being wrong, of not knowing. The louder the voice, the more fragile the ego behind it. Truly wise people speak less but say more. They don't try to dominate, they aim to understand. The man who constantly yells ends up being ignored. People stop listening. He becomes just another noise in the background, like a car alarm no one checks anymore. So if you find yourself raising your voice to win, pause, not to judge yourself but to understand why. Read more. Ask better questions. Speak when it builds, not when it breaks. Because in the end, being heard isn't the same as being respected. And the quietest voice spoken with clarity and heart can be the one that changes everything. Sign 2, he worships his ego like it's a religion. You've seen this man. Maybe you've been him, we all have at some point. He holds his ego like a golden trophy, shiny, proud, untouchable. But deep inside, it's made of glass. One challenge, one moment of feedback, and it starts to crack. He can't apologize. He won't ask for help in saying, I was wrong. That's off limits. To him, admitting fault feels like admitting failure. He'd rather stay lost than say, I need directions. Think about the guy giving life advice while ignoring his own chaos. Or the man who blames everyone else when things go wrong but never looks in the mirror. He's always defending, always deflecting. Sometimes he lashes out. Other times he plays the victim. But either way, he stays stuck. Because to grow, you have to loosen your grip on being right. Here's the truth. Strength isn't never being wrong. It's being brave enough to admit it. The wise man asks questions. He listens even when it's hard. He learns even when his pride protests. That's real power. That's growth. Men ruled by ego always crash, maybe not today, but life has a way of humbling all of us. The question is, will you wait for that crash, or will you choose to grow now? Imperfect men evolve not by pretending to know everything, but by opening themselves up to what they don't. Sign 3. He defines masculinity through insecurity. Many of us grew up believing a lie that real men must be hard, silent, and never show emotion. We were told crying makes you weak, that asking for help means you're less of a man. So, this guy builds a wall around his heart and calls it strength. When a woman out-earns him, he feels smaller. When someone gives feedback, he takes it as an attack. He puffs up, puts on a show because inside he's scared he's not enough. This version of masculinity, it's not strength. It's fear in disguise. Like a cardboard mask, easy to wear, easy to rip. He constantly compares himself to others, trying to prove something he doesn't even believe. Winning arguments, dominating rooms, avoiding anything soft but never at peace. Real masculinity isn't loud, it's not angry, it's calm. It's the discipline to stay grounded when life shakes you. It's being brave enough to say, I'm hurting, without shame. Real men feel deeply, but respond with clarity, not chaos. You don't need to crush others to prove you're strong. You don't need to shut down to seem powerful. True leadership starts when you master yourself, not when you hide behind pride. If your idea of being a man means hiding your heart, it's time to unlearn and rebuild. Because strength isn't about being untouchable. It's about being whole. Before we move on, if this is hitting something real for you, take a second to like this video and subscribe. It helps more than you know, and this channel is here to keep you thinking, growing, and leveling up. Now, let's talk about the next sign, because if the first 3 sound familiar, this one might hit even deeper. Sign 4. He fights to be right instead of understanding. You've seen it, maybe you've even lived it. The man who can't let something go until he's won the argument. It doesn't matter if he hurts people, ruins the mood, or misses the whole point. He'll Google some random stat, cut people off, twist their words just to feel in control. Not because he's seeking truth, but because he's scared to look weak. I once watched a man lose a friend, not because he was wrong, but because he couldn't stop needing to be right. That need cost him something deeper: connection, trust, and peace. When every conversation feels like a courtroom, no one wins. You stop hearing, you stop learning. You're too busy preparing your comeback to consider another point of view. True intelligence isn't loud, it's not aggressive, it's humble. It says, "That's interesting. I never saw it that way." It listens, it grows. And it's okay being wrong because growth matters more than ego. Wise men don't argue to win, they speak to understand. They know that every time they choose curiosity over combat, they get closer to peace not just with others but within themselves. So ask yourself honestly, are you trying to prove you're right, or are you trying to become wiser? Sign 5. He blames everything but himself. This is the final boss of foolish behavior, the man who never looks in the mirror. Every time something goes wrong, he finds someone else to blame. His relationship ends? She was too emotional. He loses his job. My boss had it out for me. His dreams fall apart. The world is unfair. It's always someone, something, somewhere, never him. He's rehearsed these excuses so many times they feel like truth. He walks through life carrying invisible weights, thinking they're handed to him, never realizing he's the one tightening the straps. But here's the truth that stings and heals. If you're part of the problem, you're also part of the solution. That's not shame. That's power. You can't control your past or how others treat you, but you can control your mindset, your choices, and your next move. And that's where everything changes. Stop blaming your parents, your ex, the system. That story may explain where you've been, but it doesn't have to decide where you're going. A wise man says, "This is on me, and I'm going to fix it." That kind of ownership isn't weakness, it's freedom. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It means finally stepping up and saying, "Enough, I choose better, I choose different." Because healing doesn't come from excuses, it comes from action. Let's recap. These 5 signs aren't just little mistakes, they're patterns that slowly tear down your potential. Talking louder doesn't make you smarter. Ego doesn't make you strong. Arguing to win only leaves you empty. And blaming the world, that keeps you stuck right where you are. But here's the good news, if any of this hit you hard, that means you're still awake, still capable of change. Growth doesn't require perfection, it just takes honesty. So take a deep breath, drop the pride, and make one small shift today. That's how real change begins. This channel exists for men like you. Men who are ready to think deeper, live wiser, and break free from habits that no longer serve them. Hit that subscribe button if you felt something real today. And when you're ready for the next step, the next video is right here. It might just change everything.